What's up, party people? I'm John McNeil, and this is Unpeeled. Today I'm joined by...
Chris Motionless.
Of?
Motionless in White.
And for the people at home that might not be familiar with your music, how would you describe that?
That's a tough one for... I mean, the typical go-to is like
We don't
metal.
want typical. We don't want typical.
Oh man, let's get really super technical and just like, well, we're like a metal. I mean, it's very aggressive, very angry, very emotional.
Yeah.
I think it's the type of music that if you're open-minded enough to be into the heavier world of music, then there's a lot to offer to a lot of fans within the heavier genres. We have kind of a wide array of sounds in what we do, and it definitely keeps things pretty interesting and gives something for everybody.
Other than sound-wise, my favorite little tidbit that you throw in there is your blue-collar band.
Yeah.
I like that, how you still keep the roots of where you're from.
Yes.
Why not? That's what made you you.
Exactly. That is the whole meaning behind our latest album title, and that's definitely the roots of the band, like you said. So that's we're a very hardworking band that is up there representing for the underdog and the blue collar people of the world, not just
Well, just a little off topic. Not My Type is my jam. I love that. That's a cool as hell song.
Those songs are not exactly representative of what I just said. There are some very interesting kind of one-offs that are just meant to be fun, and
it's cool though.
Yeah.
It's tongue in cheek and a little playful.
Yeah.
So right now on the Warped Tour, you're familiar with this tour and you've done it before. You give back to your fans, and you have sessions where you're kind of, I don't know how many people are in a session. 40 depends on who signs up, right?
Depends on the day.
Tell me how this whole thing started.
Well, they asked me to do it in 2016 when we did the tour, and it was the first year that I have known them to do it, and they approached me and said, like, it's kind of like you could do whatever you want. You can give vocal lessons, or you can talk about anything that you want. It's essentially just like a class or a discussion, and I thought, I would do this because a lot of people have approached us and have said a lot of things that I would love to know more about what they're saying and why they're saying it, but there's just never a time. Signings are just rapid, and I don't really spend a lot of time online typing or talking too much. So it's too hard to really get those deep discussions with fans, and I always wanted to know more about them, and they want to know more about me. So I saw it as the perfect opportunity to really sit for like at least 45 minutes, unless I complain and we go over. At least 45 minutes to just really talk about whatever it is that ends up happening each day.
And that's kind of, it's a neat thing to see. You never really get those intimate moments with people you look up to. Is there anything on the flip side where that sticks out in your mind where a fan really touched you?
Yeah, I mean, it's happened so much on the 2016 run that right after the Warped Tour, we went back to working on our album, and I wrote 2 different songs based on my experiences with these classes. We have a song called Voices, and we have a song called Loud, and they're both kind of like the
bookends.
Exactly, the dark and the light of all these conversations. So it's definitely been one of the most impacting events of my life and things that I've been involved with in my life, to relate so deeply to a lot of these. I mean, most of them are a lot younger than I am, so to relate so deeply to a younger generation and be able to kind of share my, if you want to call it, wisdom.
Yeah, it's eye-opening on both sides.
Yeah. It's just a sharing of life experiences and relating to one another, and it's really powerful to get to try to help somebody, and even for them to watch other people or watch them help other people, or even myself.
But even as fans, like, it must be so moving for them to have that sort of connection with you and have the hope that, because when we're all teens, we go through ups and downs, and we're emotional and we make bad decisions, and it just kind of shows you, like, hey, I can achieve anything, right?
Yeah. We talk about that almost every day. Like, someone will have an issue, and I'll tell them about the exact same period of my life in which I faced this issue. Most of the time, if I have, which it seems like I would say 90% of the time I have.
90% of the time we all have. It's just some people don't express themselves, right?
Yep.
We keep it bottled up. There's the bottle uppers, the expressors, and then there's the sometimes.
Yep. It's funny. I
don't know if those are the exact
the sometimesers. There's a lot of people that actually I feel like are saying some of the things that they're saying for the first time in these classes, because that's kind of the environment that we build there, is that we can say things that are emotionally bottled up, and it's just been very therapeutic for myself and for everybody there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So out of everything, the Warped Tours, even when you're younger, checking out the Warped Tour, favorite moment ever? Or it doesn't even have to be a good one.
Right.
One that just sticks out, like you're always going to replay this even when our memories are faded, right?
It has to just be my very first Warped Tour memory of all time. When my first date was in Camden, New Jersey in 2003. And I went with a group of my friends, and I was just like, I had heard about Warped Tour. I had seen it like in DVDs and whatnot, but I'd never been. And everyone talked about how great it was and how many bands you could see. And it was like this foreign world to me that I was dying to get to. And I walked into that venue, and it just blew me away.
That's awesome.
Poison the Well was the first band I saw, and I just walked right up, and I was just like, oh my
Invested.
God.
This is my jam. I'm here.
I knew then I wanted to be at this every year, whether it was as a fan or playing it or whatever the case. It was just such a world that I fit into, and me and all of my friends were at our most realized versions of ourselves at that day and any other time that we've ever went.
That's awesome. Well, you know what? I really appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Safe travels and have a blast. Enjoy it. Take it all in.
Conversation, man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Peace out, party people.